hang on to your seat, baby, cause this one's a screamer.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained?
What's going on, entertainers? Today I'm coming to y'all with another video. And y'all eyes not fooling y'all. It's not KC. Let me stop. Y'all, I had to do this for some headshots, okay? I don't even like my hair low like this, but for headshot purposes, you got to do it like this, okay? So that way your face, because you know my face is very easy. So that way your face can really show. So yeah. All right, so we talking Love Island, you guys. So this is the episode after TT, okay? This is after TT. Now, Anaya starts off the episode. She's very upset. I'm talking crying. Y'all, there's this meme of Fantasia that of her performing. After the performance, she's like in a ball of tears. And a lot of people compared the reaction that Anaya had to what Fantasia did in that moment. And I'm not gonna lie, it's like literally the carbon copy. I'm talking about the exact carbon copy. When Fantasia was performing and she was like, and she dropped her head down and they had to carry her off the stage. That's basically what Anaya had throughout that beginning of the episode. Which I understand her being upset, but once again, some of it is her fault because she did have a choice. And she did not make the choice to go with the person that could have been right for her. And she went for the safe spot, which was KC, who really wasn't safe. And ended up having her look crazy. She's crying in a puddle of tears. Melanie's trying to help her out. Melanie's like, stop, let's walk away. So as she's walking away with Melanie, you hear Permita, oh my God, you would think these girls are like married or something. Like, what's going on? So Anaya hears it. She's like, oh my God, they're laughing. They're fucking laughing. They're laughing at me. I'm a joke. What? She's like bawling at this point because she hears them cracking up, which I understood. I thought when she kicked her shoes off, I thought she was about to take a turn and start to get to running to confront him. I said, oh my God, this Love Island about to turn real ghetto. But no, she didn't. I really thought she was going to run over there and like confront them or something like that because she was getting really heated because you could hear the laughter. They were extremely obnoxious. Regardless of how I feel about Anaya or not, them laughing about it to me, like, y'all got to be at least a little respectful. Permita, your cat. You get what I'm saying? Like, you hear the girl crying, at least have somewhat of respect to not do the most. Melanie ends up having to talk with Anaya, basically gives her to get it together, minus the slap, okay? She's like, oh my God, I couldn't even be half the woman you are and poised as you are. Are you serious? You had to build this nigga up. You're not going to be a builder nigga. That's a builder nigga. That's what she really wanted to say. But she said a builder bear. But she really wanted to say builder nigga, right? That's what it really was. So Melanie was like a nice comforter throughout the whole episode. Had it not been for her, Anaya really would have been crying all by herself. So Permita and Trinity, we see them talking, and besides Anaya, and basically what I think Anaya and TT, I think the producers pulled TT and them to the side and said, hey, this ain't South Central Baddies. This ain't these networks. I know lately these networks have been popping off where they're squabbling in Airbnbs. We're not that type of network. We're not trying to push off as that type of network. You do it, you're getting kicked up off. Think it's sweet, it's not. Okay? And I think she understood, like, okay, let me take correction and let me not do that because I want to stay in this villa. Okay? They don't cast my aesthetic a lot. We don't see a lot of hood get through the door. So TT, don't mess it up for the hood coming up after you. Don't mess it up for the TTs after you. So I'm glad that she was able to keep it cool and copacetic. Because like I said, I didn't want them to squabble. Some of y'all messy, I want them to squabble. I didn't want them to squabble. Because it's like, we have enough shows where they squabble at Airbnbs. Can we at least have one to where they could at least talk it out and keep it somewhat classy? So I was happy with how this episode, went about. Melanie and Sincere end up talking. He's so manipulative to where he starts putting out the fact that Melanie was having chats with all these dudes and stuff. He's like, so like, you were having like chat with like two guys, right? So like, what the you mad at me? And Melanie's like, I'm not. It's just the way that like everything came out about. Like, I'm not mad at you. It's just just how things happen or whatever. So he basically trying to flip it and make it seem like both of them were having their way. So he should not feel. She should not feel away. But if we really want to be honest, Melanie was barely giving them boys the time of the day. Like even the picnic with Corey, she did not seem even interested like that. So in the grand scheme of things, she really wasn't having her way. It was fake. Bryce and Trinity end up catching up. Both of them are happy. I really feel like Bryce wanted to say, I never seen you get ghetto like that. To be honest, he was this close to saying it, but he didn't want to ruin the moment. He wanted to keep the happiness, but I think deep down, he wanted to be like, I know you get goodly like that. You feel me? Like, you get good, right? Like, I feel like he was so close to wanting to really say that, but something was keeping him from saying it, but he wanted to a little bit. I'm just saying, because Bryce looked a little spooked when she was going back and forth with TT. I hope they had a conversation about it, like off camera or something, or like maybe it was cut out or something like that, because that is a conversation that needs to be had. Like, do you have a temper issue, Trinity, to where like you're not able to have conversations easily like that, right? So both of them are happy that they both came back to each other. They see the 100K at the end. That's all I'm gonna say. Do I see this lasting outside the villa? No, and it has nothing to do with the race. To me, it has to do with the age gap. Bryce is up there in age. He's not old, because his age to me is not considered old, because I'm close to his age. But Trinity, she is going to be young and having her way. So it's like, I just don't see her being tied down to no Bryce. Maybe for a little bit, just for the image of it all. But in the long haul, I don't see it lasting, like, at all. So TT and KC end up talking, and let's talk about the restraining orders. So there's been some news that have came out against TT, and apparently she has 2 restraining orders against her. And it was from dudes that she previously was with. So this both has came out recently. This news has came out after the whole I'm TT episode, and a lot of people are criticizing the producers for putting her on there. But I just feel like that's one person word against the other. But I will say, KC, F her on and find out. This girl doesn't seem like the type to be played with. So you might end up regret your decision, picking her over Anaya. Because you treat her wrong, all the South Central gonna come for you. And you might have to get another order out on her. And that's gonna make 3 in total. Okay? I just feel like we should, as Love Island viewers, not use too much of the outside world, unless they're being racist, to judge the Islanders. Okay? Unless they're being racist. I'm going to reiterate that. Unless they're being racist. That's like the only time I feel like it's valid. Sorry. And the reason why is because it has directly to do with dating. If you have a certain prejudice against a certain race, you being on the show is a little bit, confusing, because there's plenty of races and different cultures on the show. So it doesn't make sense. I'm just saying. Okay? So TT is like, yeah, I was going to let them talk to you like that. Like, if it's me and you, it's going to be me and you against the world. Okay? She wanted to sing On the Run by Beyonce. I don't care if we on the run, but tonight I want to up with you. Okay? That's what she really wanted to say. And that's how she was feeling. And KC was really liking that. He started smiling. He's like, right? Because he knows that that he has a rider, right? That she gonna be down for the cause anytime. Then Kata and Zach end up talking. I don't know why. I can't watch their scenes. I'll be skipping through their scenes. I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, I'm going to be completely honest. Because it just feels like 2 homegirls catching up. Like a homegirl catching up with her good Judy. It doesn't give these 2 are like getting to know each other in a relationship aspect. I think Kata is falling in love, much like Melanie. And this is why her and Melanie are so cool. I think Kata is falling in love with the image of their relationship and not the reality of it. Now Anaya goes outside. It's the night is winding down, and she's outside in the cabana bed, and she is literally bawling her eyes out. You just say, so all the girls are near the bed. They hear, Melanie goes and checks on her again to make sure that she get to stop crying. And she gets to the bed with her and just try comforting her. I'm talking about the whole episode. She's comforting Anaya because at this point, Anaya is in a puddle of tears. I know Anaya's parents are so upset at her, not at her behavior, but the situation that she put herself in by thinking that this KC dude was really messing with her like that. Like, I just know they're very upset. You know what I'm saying? Like, they are very upset. And I heard that KC mama was online talking. So I just know they're really, really upset. If they do make it to family night, and I'm talking both of them, that is going to be an awkward episode. And we're going to need to beef up the security. Okay? Now it's time for the nightcap, and they're in the glam room, the girls, and TT apologizes to Melanie. It's giving the producers how to talk with all of the girls, because now all of a sudden they're all calm, copacetic, friendly. She even says sorry to Trinity for calling her little girl. White girl, little girl. That with the curves, okay? And Trinity's like, it's okay. Like, it's fine. It's just like, it was just the heat of the moment. Like, our beef was with KC. Like, we don't got nothing against you. It's cool or whatever. And TT was like, yeah, like, y'all dudes was real cool. Like, Zach and Bryce, they were on their best behavior. Here come Melanie. So, like, if they were in their best behavior, what about Sincere? This how Melanie says Sincere. What about Sincere? What happened to Sincere? So TT like, I'm gonna let him tell you. And then she like, no, tell me, let me know. And she's like, oh, well, just know that he was hugging up on this girl named Amore, and she had big W cakes. She didn't say that, but she might as well. So Melanie hears that, and all you can see is the flames about to fly out of her ears, like, burr, burr. Okay? So once she finds out about that, I feel like you shouldn't even have to ask TT about that, Melanie, because you already know the answer if she didn't say his name. Clearly, he was having his fun. Like, I don't know. I don't get Melanie. Like I said, I don't like her in a relationship. Okay? It's bedtime. And why did Parmita have to tell Corbin to fix his nasty breath? And the producers, they're so shady. They just saw Corbin just scrubbing his tongue down. He's just scrubbing the tongue down, and then you see him get in the bed all angry. That was so embarrassing. Like, wow. One thing about Parmita I respect about her, she's honest. She's honest. They should name her Sincere and take that nigga name back. You feel me? And name Sincere Persian Cat. Because she's the real Sincere. Because she told that straight up, like, yo, hot ass breath, get out, that stinky breath. Go and fix that, okay? Now it's time for breakfast. And shout out to Gal. He was the only man considerate enough to make Anaya breakfast. Okay? And we see Anaya talking to Sincere and Zach. And she was basically saying, like, she feels really, really low. She feels not beautiful. She feels unwanted. And I feel like Anaya has always felt that. This situation just highlighted how she was feeling, and it amplified it. Because once again, we go back to Casa Amor, when the dudes were wanting her, aka Chandler, aka Kinyo, I forgot the man's name. She was shocked, as if she's like an ugly duckling or something. KC says he does plan on talking to her, but he doesn't want to like kiss her butt, but he wants to kind of like wait it out a little bit. Corbin ends up talking to the guys. He's like, so like, was Anaya, like, what was going on with Anaya? Like, was she like exploring? Like, what was going on with that? And the boys, it was the Costa boys, Gal and Dylan, they're like, yeah, like, she was exploring, and like this Carl guy, he's like a nerd, and like Anaya's a nerd, so like they would have really meshed well. Like, I don't know why he didn't pick her, like, because he was really like, he was really feeling her. So like, yeah, here come Corbin, like, so like I find out Anaya was exploring the connection. All she had to do was pick the connection, explore the connection. Something about that irritated me. I don't know why. Like, it's just like, shut up, Corbin. Am I the only one? That just got on my nerves. Like, shut up. I don't want to even hear it out of him. Like, shut up. Like, it's just so irritating to me. Like, ugh, just so annoying. Okay? Shut up. That's just how I feel. Because I just feel like the way Corbin looks at Anaya, I think he does not have sympathy for any of her emotions. I understand she put herself in that position, but her tears mean nothing to him. Like, he doesn't give a crap. So to hear him say that, it irritated me a little bit. Melanie and Sincere end up talking. Sigh. That's the sentence. Melanie and Sincere end up talking. That's the sentence. Now, the problem between them is they did not have a established boundary in regards to Casa Amor. And they established boundaries when it regards to the villa. Remember, they agreed to both of them are not going to be kissing. Well, they didn't establish any of that before Casa. So that didn't carry into Casa. So now both of them are back to square one. Okay? And in my opinion, Sincere is a liar. And he talks in riddles to get out of a situation. And I think that frustrates Melanie because she doesn't know what to say back because she starts getting tongue-tied and she get to crying. Okay? And I think that's the problem between them two is because they have really bad communication. One thing I noticed about Melanie, she don't let the man talk either. And when he does anyways, he just starts speaking in metaphors, riddles, poems. You get what I'm saying? He's not really saying nothing, but she does not let him speak either. She's constantly cutting him off, constantly trying to finish what he has to say to the point where we don't hear what he has to say. And when we do, it's a poem. So Melanie to me is another girl, like I said before, like Kata. She falls in love with the fantasy and not the reality. And that to me will make her lose every time. So then we get her get to crying. Trinity's checking on her. She's like, I don't know how to feel. It's just like I keep hearing all these things, and it's like, and he's saying one thing. If everybody coming back to you and they tell you he's playing in your face, you might want to take everybody's advice, especially after what happened to Anaya. That should have been a wake-up call. Like, oh my God, we was all telling Anaya how she should explore and go with somebody else, and now she looking crazy. Everybody's telling you that was in Casa that, hey, Sincere's playing in your face, you need to move on, and you didn't listen. So when it is revealed during movie night that this man ain't Ish, you're going to be looking crazy, just like Anaya's looking crazy. So it's like, I wish you would see what's happening to Anaya and kind of like learn from that, because she's going to end up regretting that. Now, TT and Anaya end up talking. Was I the only one that felt this conversation was told once again to be had by the producers? By the producers, okay? The producers put them up to it. They say, hey, I don't want to hear none of that. Y'all gonna have to make peace. This ain't SCB season 7. And that's it. Now, I do feel like the conversation was genuine. I just feel like they were told to have the conversation. Let's just say that. So both of them are like, like, and I was like, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at KC because it's him. It's always going to be him, okay? But you're beautiful. Like, it's nothing against you. TT's like, you're a beautiful black queen. You do volleyball. You got Big Debbie cakes. We two big booty. And we finna stick together. And I want to get to know you, and I want to explore a connection with you, too. I'm like, oh, let me find out, TT. Let me start. Wouldn't it be funny if they casted a girl on there as like a Casa girl, and she ended up getting taken back to the villa, and she ended up getting with one of the girls? That would have been the ultimate gag. Like, you know what I'm saying? But they end up making peace, and then we see everybody sitting around the villa. I got a text! In my Corbin voice. They get a text. And it's time for a challenge. And they tease the challenge with cakes, right? And we get Megan Thee Stallion. So Megan Thee Stallion must have a contract with Peacock to have a special guest appearance every season at this point, okay? Cardi B's working on it as we speak, so that way she could pop up on that villa. Does she watch Love Island? I wonder if she does. So she ends up coming to the villa, Big Debbie cakes all out, pink wig, okay? Cellulite glimmering, looking nice. So she goes to the girls. She has Kenzie do her splits. Kenzie do her splits so hard The guys can feel when she does a split in the villa. That's how much she has branded herself in doing the split. You hear boom, that's Kenzie. Boom, that's Kenzie, right? She do the splits, and then we end up seeing Megan start going around each girl saying little comments about them. One thing I noticed, she didn't say nothing to TT. Like, did they cut that out, or did I miss that? I feel like she didn't say nothing to TT. But she was just like, oh, Anaya, you built like a stallion. I wish you could show all of America. That's basically a hint, like, girl, stop playing on your own top. You're beautiful, okay? You're a bad bitch. Stop playing on your top. That was basically her saying that. She's like, oh, Jaden, you look like Jessica Alba. Melanie, she made her twerk. She's like, oh, you got Big Debbie cakes, Melanie. And of course, she had Kenzie do her splits. So she's like talking with the girls and stuff. And then we get to the challenge. Now, y'all know I hate the challenges to where they don't have to like, I hate the challenges where there's not any kissing or anything to where it makes the other couples jealous. Those to me are the best ones. So we didn't really get that this challenge, but the first one, they had to like sit on the cake, basically musical chairs with twerking and sitting on a cake. KC won for the dudes, TT won for the girls, okay? And then they do another portion to where they have to put cream on, or the girls put cream on the dudes that they are upset with or have a gripe with, and then the boys end up throwing cake at the girls that they're upset with. KC threw a cake at Trinity, and Trinity was calling him all types of BITCH. You saw that look TT gave? She said, don't let me get out that hole before you end up with a pole. And Kenzie, get over being mad at Corbin. And I'm going to tell you why. Because now, Kenzie, you're having your way, according to this new episode that's about to drop, I'm about to watch. You're having your way, and you feeling still upset at Corbin? Girl, bye. Stop it. Stop it. The only people that have the right to be upset is KC, Anaya. Anaya looked like she was on the verge of tears because she thought that KC was going to throw that cake in her face. I was like, oh my God. That would have been the ultimate disrespect. And then at the end of the challenge, Amora comes back and then Carl comes back. Am I happy about those two coming back? No. I wanted it to be Amora and Corey because I wanted Corey to take Melanie from Sincere. And I also wanted Amora, of course, because she's going to be there, to take Sincere away from Melanie. I still feel like Anaya needs to do some inner work. And it looks like Carl has his eyes on a couple of the other girls. So it doesn't look like that's going to end up working out. Anyways, y'all, let me know what y'all think down below. My bad, y'all, for it being so late. But, y'all, it's been so many stuff that drop on Sunday night. It's not even funny. Let me know what y'all think. Oh, y'all babies.